According to UNICEF, 1 in 10 children in the world is currently growing up in an environment marked by war and revolution. Children are often victims of war conflicts themselves. And it is to them that I have dedicated this story. The King's Letter is a romanticized story about 16-year-old Philip, who is assigned by the village to look after its sheep. But secretly the young man wishes for a duty more befitting a real man. Ideally, he would like to join the rest of the young men in the battle to liberate France. Although he knows that many have not returned from the 10-year war, it is still more honorable for him to lose his head for the fatherland than to do a job befitting an old man. As if God himself wanted to grant him his wish, the shepherd will definitely be lucky. The luck, he is convinced, will come from the prince himself, who is riding on the slopes of Najak that day. The prince had been looking in vain for a courier for some time, but it was almost impossible to find someone who would manage to sneak through the enemy lines unnoticed. When the prince caught sight of the boy, he decided to send him to Paris with a letter to the king, as it was of inestimable state importance. The fate of the entire nation depended on its contents, and it must on no account fall into the hands of the enemy. So Philip set off far to the north without being able to say goodbye. His hands trembled with excitement as he touched the sealed letter. How tormented he was by the desire to find out what secret was hidden within it. He, a simple shepherd, held something so sublime and priceless in his hand. Buoyed by this noble feeling, he reflected the letter in the candle flame while hiding in the woods, barns and sheds at night to escape the gaze of the curious. How he would have loved to break the purple wax seal with the prince's ring imprint and read the written words with his own eyes. Words that carried incredible weight and brought freedom from the plagues of war. But honor and loyalty to his beloved king would not allow him to do so. That the closer Philip came to Paris, the more anxious his enthusiasm became. And then, when he finally reached his destination, everything had to change. Only a few written words made up the contents of the yellowed parchment. Content that was a shameful blow to the face for the pastor. A blow to him and to every poor man in France who scraped the last penny out of his hungry mouth to equip the king's army while the money piled up in the royal treasury. All illusions about the necessity of war burst like a soap bubble.